So we're not doing get ready with me's anymore, so now I'm just talking. I still have a couple more days left before my notice runs out. Do not have a start date for my new job yet. I did get my license, so that's good. I'm making a recipe that I found a video for on TikTok. Now, I didn't like write down the recipe. I was just like, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. So this is not an authentic anything. This is just, that sounds good, and we're gonna do it. So it's gonna be whatever. And I am cooking for one. Oh, so the last time I talked to you was Saturday. It is currently Saturday again. So it's been a week, right? So I got my serving shift taken care of. I made like $230 that night, so that was nice. Using this onion before it goes bad. All right. So I don't remember if I was supposed to. It's fideo, and I don't remember if I was supposed to do the browning of the fideo first or the meat first, but we're gonna do the meat first. So when I brown the fideo, I can just add the meat back, and then maybe some of the flavor will get imparted into the pasta. I don't fucking know, man. It just sounded good. We're gonna make it. So what else happened? Okay, so that was Saturday. I worked Sunday. Monday, Tuesday. I just cut up a small onion. Anyway. Garlic powder. So, anyway. I like garlic. Alright. Salt. And it calls for ground beef, but I'm going to use ground turkey because it's lower in calories. Why am I looking in here? Oh, well. I was like, why the fuck am I looking in here? Because the turkey is 97% fat free, so I have to add some oil. Anyway. What was I saying? Yes. I went to Thursday. I went to Gaming Commission to get my license. So the thing is, it's 6:30 in the morning. They called me to tell me that my father was in respiratory distress and he had to go to the emergency room. Problem is, my appointment for the Gaming Commission was at 9 a.m. So I went to the Gaming Commission. Would you get your ice, please? The kitten plays fetch with ice. It's fine. So I filled out like a 25-page form. Got my temporary thing. A little smoked paprika. Anyway, cumin, cilantro. No! Dog's trying to come in. You have made your choice. Okay. So anyway, they Oh, I will need some broth. So I'm gonna use beef broth. Should I use chicken? Fuck. Excuse me. Come on. Come on. Please come in. I'm busy. Come in. Sir, decide. Come on. Good boy. Anyway. So anyway. Then I had to go and renew my driver's license. And then I went to go visit my dad because he had been admitted to the hospital. He's still having problems breathing. The doctor's like, he's having heart failure and that's why he can't breathe. And I'm like, but he's been having heart failure for like a couple years now. So I'm not quite sure what the difference is between this heart failure and the last heart failure. I need hot water. There, have some ice. Anyway. This recipe is supposed to be like a stew, but I'm not going to make it a stew because I don't really like stew. I want it to be more of like a casserole. So, excuse me, ma'am. Please move your butt. Anyway. I'm not making this a cooking channel. I'm just telling you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Kind of like the makeup thing I did. Because all I promised you, I'm going to use chicken bouillon. The only thing I promised you is that I was going to, oh, men's garden. I was going to keep you informed of my life as it happened. And I got some shit to tell you. So that's what we're doing. I'm telling you shit. So, better than bouillon, chicken. Piece of ice. So my dad's in the hospital, right? He's been there since Thursday morning. It is now Saturday. This man called me yesterday while I was at work and asked me to make sure on Thursday he was really confused. He did not know where he was when I got there after work or after all my stuff. Right, he had no idea where he was. And so I'm like, well, you're ooh, a lot of garlic. I like garlic. We're gonna put this over here because it's leaking. Well, not really leaking, it's dripping. So we're gonna put it up here. I do not have an Instagram kitchen. I have a kitchen where I just do shit, okay? And I have so much seaweed. So much seaweed. Okay, so anyway. What am I doing? Yesterday, yes. He called yesterday and asked me to make sure his scooter was charged up. And I'm like, okay, are you going home tomorrow? He's like, no, I'm not going home tomorrow. why do you need your scooter charged? He's like, well, I figured we'd take Mom's car and go somewhere. You're not going anywhere while you're in the hospital. So I went to go visit him after work. Come on, Turkey. And I asked him how he was doing when I got there. He said he's dying, and I'm like, or he said he's trying not to die, and I said, yeah, appreciate that. I'm gonna take off my ring. Anyway, appreciate that. And then the nurse was there. He asked where that nice lady went. I told him that she had to go check on her other patients, and he's like, oh, is she a nurse? And I said, yes, she's a nurse. Like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, you just thought some lady was coming to hang out with you? What the fuck, man? Anyway, she was very nice. I have a trash bag over here, so I don't have to touch the trash can every time. Anyway, so would you get off him? Alright, so, I'm sorry, I had to wash my hands again. I know I'm the only one eating it, but I still have to wash my hands again. So anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so we hung out. He's like, I live in Shawnee, right? So he asked if Fire Lake was doing their fireworks display, and I said, yeah. He goes, well, find it on TV, and hands me his phone. And I'm like, I have my phone here, but it's not televised. He's like, well, don't even look then. And I'm like, okay, I'll look. Sure enough, our local casino's fireworks display was not nationally televised. I can't imagine. So it's fine. We found something on ABC. It was like America's 250th thing, Disney, I don't know. There was supposed to be fireworks. He got distracted before the end. We never actually got to see any fireworks. I assumed there would probably be fireworks, but it was still daytime, so obviously no fireworks. Anyway, then he wanted to watch Lonesome Dove. I'm like, well, I don't know if you have access to that here. And he's like, well, I used to watch it at home on TV. And I'm like, yes, but the TV here at the hospital is different than the TV at home. The TV at home is different than the TV at home when he was here, too, because I have stopped all of that. I'm not paying $300 a month for every streaming service when I don't even fucking watch TV. So, we don't watch TV. What am I doing? Yes, I need potatoes. Anyway, the fuck was I saying? Hi. So anyway, we got him situated watching Lonesome Dove. Well, sort of. So I got Tubi on his phone because he's like, well, put it on here. And I said, you need an app. He's like, well, put it on here. I'm like, okay. So I put Tubi on his phone, right? Because they have Lonesome Dove. I was like, but there will be commercials. Because he doesn't have an email address, so I can't sign in. And I'm not going to sign him into my account, because then he's going to be fucking up my algorithm. Anyway, we're not doing that. So, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 little potatoes. I think she used russets, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not following the recipe anyway. So, anyway. We got a bowl with a colander so it'll drain. We're gonna put it over here because I don't want it in my fucking way. Anyway. Yeah. So I get Lonesome Dove on and he's watching the muted television with America the Beautiful, whatever Disney ABC thing that was on yesterday, right? And he's holding his phone, and he's like, it's not very loud. And I was like, well, I can turn up the volume on your phone. And he's holding the remote, which in the hospital, the remote has a speaker for the TV on it, up to his ear. And I said, it's not coming out of there. He's like, well, that's where the sound comes out. I said, for the TV. You have your phone. Then today, because I went home, okay? I went home. I got some sleep. Yard got mowed. I went to the store and I got some frames because I was trying to sort some photos that I wanted to hang up. Anyway, I got my music playing and got my frames and my photos over there. I'm making video. I told Dad that I would be there later. I told him I had to work today. But here's the thing, I didn't have to work. But you know why I told him I had to work? Because today is the first day in the entire fucking month until the 10th that I don't have anything scheduled. This is it, the 4th. This is the only day I have nothing scheduled. So, we're working today. I cleaned my house. I did dishes. I didn't really clean the kitchen. The kitchen wasn't dirty. I don't ever fucking use the kitchen. Today's the first day I cooked in like a month. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, he called today. He's like, I'm here with the heart doctor. I said, that's good. And I said, what'd she say? He said, I'm dying. And she said, not quite. So anyway, as long as you're not doing great, his heart keeps beating really fast, like racing, while he's laying in bed. So, that's not great. But she doesn't seem to think he's in immediate danger, so that's good. Talked to him. I talked to the doctor. Talked to him for a little bit. I'm gonna turn the fire down. We're gonna drain it. This colander is as old as I am. It's Tupperware. Literally. It's as old as me. So I need to move this over because I am not pouring hot grease on the dog food bowl. You know what I fucking need? I need a spatula. Alexa, skip this song. Alright. So that's gonna sit over there for a minute. Excuse me, sir. I have a dog on my left at the floor, and I have a cat over there. Everybody's just in my fucking way, and it's fine. A little more olive oil. Alright. Now I don't remember what I was supposed to toast this in, so we're just gonna toast it in olive oil. Anyway, so we close again, right? After leaving me, basically, I talked to the heart doctor. And then she left, and he just left me on the phone. So after 6 minutes, I hung up. Then he called back. I need more liquid. Avocado oil? Anyway. He called back. Asked me when I was working. Told him, so I was working till 8. It's 5:16. I'm gonna eat dinner before I go see him. Anyway, he asked me to go get his little black bag from where he was before. I told him the name of the place he was before, but he's just like, from the place I was before. Okay, fine. I need to wash my... cut my potatoes, not wash my potatoes. She cut them into fourths. They're little, so probably won't take as long to cook. I'm still going to cut them into fourths because that's what she did. And I'm not sure what the purpose is, so we're just going to do what she did. Anyway, because he needs his razor and his toothbrush. He has no teeth. He has dentures. And I am 99% sure that if he asks the nurse for a toothbrush, that somewhere in that hospital they have a toothbrush. But the electric razor, fine. I will go get his electric razor from his room. He's worried about... He's like, they haven't brought it yet. I said, they're not going to bring it, Dad. And he's like, well, they didn't bring it with me, and I've been waiting for them to bring it to me. And I'm like, okay, they were concerned that you couldn't breathe. They got you in an ambulance. They didn't bring your phone. They're certainly not going to bring your razor. I had to go get his phone. So. In a little bit, I'm going to leave here and I'm going to go by his room. He was very concerned about it. I'm like, Dad, it's in your room. It's not going anywhere. It's going to stay in your room until someone removes it from your room. And the someone's either going to be me or you. So. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, he called back. Keep in mind, he thinks I'm at work. So he keeps calling while he thinks I'm at work. And he's like, okay, I'll let you go. Then he calls me back and tells me that he needs to go to, it's been a while, and he needs to go to the foot doctor. And I'm like, and he said, minced onion. He said he needs to go to the foot doctor. He hadn't been since Mom was alive. And I'm like, do you mean the podiatrist or do you mean the pedicure? And he's like, oh no, pedicure. I'm like, okay. He's like, well, go ahead and make us an appointment and we'll go get a pedicure. And I said, I can't make an appointment until you're out of the hospital. He's like, yeah, I just need like an hour's notice. So they can unhook me from my stuff and we can go get a pedicure and I could come back. I said, Dad, that's not how hospitals work. If they can't get your breathing under control right now, he's at like 60% oxygen on the high oxygen generator thing. I don't know. He's on a normal generator, oxygen generator, but he's on a high oxygen generator now. And I'm like, they're not going to let you out. So you can go get a pedicure. He's like, well, I'll ask them. You do that. Anyway, so yeah. Like they're not going to let you out. If you can't breathe without this specialized equipment that we don't have, they're not going to let you out to go get a fucking pedicure and come back. It's now in the assisted living where he normally is. I absolutely take him out sometimes. And we go do things. And I'd go get him a pedicure. Or whatever. But I know she put her beans in with the juice. Would I eat? I'm not doing that. I still need this knife. Because, ew. Anyway. So yeah. If you've never had to deal with some, at least he's nice. There was a guy down the hall. They called the cops on him last night. I heard him say that if you don't quit threatening the staff, we're going to have to restrain you. And then next thing I know, there are cops walking down the hall. And so, my dad, after asking where the front door of the house was, I was very confused because I'm like, what do you mean, where's the front door of the house? I've already told him like 5 times that we were in a hospital room. But he wanted to know where the front door of the house was. And I'm like, what do you mean, the front door of the house? He's like, never mind. Where are we? And I said, we're in the hospital. Where's the door? There. Anyway, he saw the cops walk past. He said, why are there police here? Now, I didn't want to get into the guy down the hall who was being a real dick. May or may not have been a threat. I didn't want to get into any of that. They had it handled, everything was fine. So I was like, there's often cops in hospitals. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And that seemed to help a little. I don't fucking know how long this is going to take to boil. I don't know how long it's going to take to be tender. She was a TikTok, so she did all the clippy shit, but I don't do the clippy shit. So, I guess I could pause it. But we don't edit shit here. Anyway, so, first thing this morning, what did he call and say? Oh! He said they moved me again. And I said, they moved you? Where'd they move you to? He's like, blank hospital. And I'm like, so where you were yesterday? He's like, was I here yesterday? And the doctor behind him, she's like, I'm adding taco seasoning because this doesn't look like the right color. Maybe not. We're going to add the salsa first because she said to add salsa. So we got salsa. Whole fucking jar of salsa. Anyway. So, it still doesn't look like the right color. Of course, her salsa, she made homemade and it was fucking pink. Sir, out of that bag. Anyway. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's where you were yesterday. He's like, was I here yesterday? And the doctor in the room with him is like, yes, you've been here for, you were here yesterday. And he said, did I get here yesterday? And she said, no. And I said, no, Dad, you got there the day before. It's not the right color. Anyway, oh, well, I forgot to add shit. Okay, that's why. Coriander. We're going to keep the taco seasoning in reserve. I don't measure by, I do handfuls. This is cumin. I like cumin. I also like cilantro. I put it in everything. Okay, so, anyway. I was like, what room are you in? And so he told me, and I said, okay, that is the same room you were in yesterday. Should I add celery? Not celery, but celery seed. I don't think so. Maybe some paprika. Anyway. Well, that's looking better. Great color, at least. I don't think this pan's big enough. Anyway. So, then he asked me to bring him his shoes. And I said, well, you have shoes. Where are they? I said, they're in the bag in the window behind the couch where I usually been sitting. Not that that helps him because he doesn't remember. So anyway, I'm still telling him. He doesn't remember, but I'm telling him. Anyway. Hi. You're very handsome. I know. Anyway, I tell him he doesn't need his shoes, but he has a pair of shoes. He's like, well, I need them when I'm walking around. I said, you're not walking around. He's a fall risk. He's got a little thing on his board that he is strict bed rest. But anyway, he's like, well, I need to walk around. I'm like, you're not walking around. He said, I do too. Not there, you don't. I'm gonna add some MSG. Because I don't give a shit. MSG makes everything taste better. Anyway. Then he's talking about me making an appointment for his pedicure. He just needs to give them an hour's notice so he can get out. Then he'll come back. And I'm like, no. That's not how this works. This is not a flattering angle. I don't care. This is gonna take a fucking while, man. Anyway, so I'm gonna finish my dish. You know what? I'll add a picture of what it looks like when it's done. Because it's been 32 minutes. I'm still waiting for this shit to come to a boil. I gotta add the meat. I gotta let it cook down. I gotta make sure everything's there. There's a zucchini we're gonna add. Well, not a whole zucchini. We're gonna add like half a zucchini when we're done. So that's what it looks like. It's getting close to a boil. It's gonna be a fucking minute. And you ain't got time for that, and I ain't got time for that. So I'm gonna add a picture of what it looks like when it's done to the thumbnail, okay? So, the picture you see is the dish I finished. This is not a cooking show. But I am gonna get my cucumber. And I'm probably gonna use, not cucumber, zucchini. Use about half of it. Anyway. You have a great day.